father himself was a great philanthropist, and in his life he helped very many Kenyans to acquire education. In those days, there was even a greater need to support children whose parents did not even know the value of education. So as a teacher, or a professional teacher, he started very early in recruiting children and then sending them to school and paying their school fees. Later on, he started the project of sending Kenyans abroad to study. First was to India in the early 50s. When I then grew up, I saw that the need was still there. It was even now greater after independence. How did the Raila Education Centre idea come about? There was a school just next to the railway line. It was basically, you can call it a Juakali school. Somebody had put up a makeshift structure and set up a school to teach the children. And on one of my inspection tours of the area, I found these children learning under very difficult conditions, because when it rained, it would rain on them, and the floor would become wet and muddy. And when it was dry, then there would be dust. Now, opposite, on the other side of the railway line, there was some abandoned structure. This had been a project which had somehow collapsed because of corruption. It was intended for disabled children. So I made some inquiries about this. And then the idea came up to my mind that, look, if I could get some money to complete some of these structures, I could transfer those children from where they were into something that was much more modern. I just did a little bit of fundraising, contacted a few friends here and there who helped me with funds to complete the structure. And once the structure was complete, I then transferred the school into that structure. So those are the origins of Raila Education Centre.
The school had a great name, a big name, a respected name, not just in Kenya, but I believe also outside Kenya. So one would expect that name to be able to match the physical facilities. When I first walked into Raila Educational Centre, what made me happy was the number of students and the behavior of the students. From the onset, you could see the students looked great. Given that I've taught for several years, I could actually pick out and say, these are great students. 64% of the kids in this school are orphans. That's one thing nobody actually notices. When you look at the students, you cannot be able to tell they're orphans or not. We have another percentage who actually stay on their own. They are the fathers and the mothers in their houses. Currently, we have a total number of 425 students in the secondary section, and we have 516 in the primary section. It starts from baby class and goes right up to Form 4.
A majority of our students come from a disadvantaged background. They come from the slums, and then getting to a school that is also disadvantaged in comparison to other schools. So it becomes almost impossible for these students to make it out there. It is my belief that if we get better infrastructure, we get better equipment, we get a better and conducive learning environment, these children are going to reach the sky. And that is my conviction.
I come from a family of 6 children, and I am the third. My brother and my sister, they needed money to go for college, and I was once in a boarding school, so I had to come to a day school so that they may be able also to get money for their college. So that's how I ended up here, and it's grateful to the Lord because I've never been sent home for school fees.
The reason why I'm here is because of school fee. My parents had to pay school fee because we are two children in Form 2. and then we did the KCP at the same time. So he had to divide the school fee in between the two of us. So I could not go to a higher school, which I was called. It was more than 30,000, I say. So because of that, I ended up to be here.
I did my KCB exams in Kibera. I passed. I was supposed to go to a boarding school, but my parents could not manage, so I had to come to a school which is near to my home and which is cheap, which my parents can afford to cater for my school fees and everything.
When I was first posted here, I looked at it the way it was and compared with all the schools I've taught in Kenya and outside the country, and something special just touched my heart. And I decided this was the place that I wanted to be in. I was actually touched by the students who are here, because when you look at the surrounding, they live in a very challenging environment. And my passion was to actually come in and be part and parcel of the challenges in the environment.
I came here in May, end of May last year, and I came from Kenya High School. I'd been in Kenya High for 9 years, so I thought I should look for a change, and I wanted to go to a small school. So when I came over and I found this one the way it was, and I'm a lion, I do a lot of charity work, so I thought this was the school. It has been a challenge, particularly in terms of facilities, but I believe with a lot of sponsorship, the kids can do well.
Each and every person has a role to play in the success of this institution called Raila Educational Centre. And every donation will go a long way to assist in the improvement of the lives and the academic performance of these students who have that background.
It is really a source of pride and satisfaction if you see that you have actually made a difference positively in the life of an individual. That a Kenyan who might not have been able to make it would probably now be loitering around or even engaged in crime, now doing something positive to the society.
I did my KCSE in this school in 2006. After I finished, I also did my A+ certification, that is from Cisco, in 2007. I joined this school in 2004. Yeah, 2004. That is after I was a dropout for 2 years. The center actually equipped me with knowledge that is helpful in my day-to-day activities. Like the computer classes that were initiated in the school, that took me to another level. I was able to start a center, which I still run to date, through the knowledge that I got from the center.
I decided to come to the school because when I hear the academic performance of the school in 2006, and then my mother asked me which school I want to go in class 1, and I chose Raila Educational Centre.
Last year, the primary school was the most improved in Nairobi. Secondary, it was the second best in Lang'ata district.
My greatest joy is seeing other people who initially were in the same environment where I was make it in life. And my greatest fulfillment is seeing a child pass, giving or putting in consideration where they come from, what they've had to work with, and their result that they get eventually. That is my fulfillment.
I'm happy because I know through this place I'm going to be a great person in future.
My favorite subject is English. I like English because English is very easy and I understand it. And I would like to be a teacher when I grow up.
My wish is really to see the school expand and to become a real center of excellence. We are looking towards East Africa, and that really is the reason why I am appealing for support from benefactors. This is not something that can be shouldered by an individual. It is beyond the means of even the Prime Minister. That really is the reason why I am appealing to the wider community, Kenyans of goodwill, and even members of the international community, to donate whatever they are able to so that we can help these children.